Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Annabelle from BioBuzz. I'm super excited to have you guys all here for another one of our Career Catalysts and Community Office Hours series. And we are thrilled to welcome back Dr. Amrita Madabushi. She's a leader in biotechnology, education, and workforce development. She's also a collegiate professor of biotechnology at the University of Maryland Global Campus and founder of Empower Bio, a biotech training company. She has over a decade of experience mentoring students, developing academic industry partnerships, and supporting career transitions in biotechnology. And Amrita also is the co-chair of the Women in Bio Capital Region chapter, which is one of our partners. And I always look forward to seeing them at events and partnering on different programs like this. Today's session for this one is going to be on navigating the modern job market. So from tailoring your resume and cover letter to highlighting your strengths, as well as preparing for interviews, we're going to be kind of exploring what that looks like. So if you're exploring new opportunities in your career or taking the next step in biotech, this is going to be a great session for you. And before we do get started, I do want to give a quick thank you to our sponsor, BioTrack, for supporting today's session. They've trained over 17,000 scientists with their cutting-edge biotech workshop. So I would definitely go check them out at biotrack.com because they have a lot of really great workshops if you're looking to upskill. Really great career resource for you guys. And also want to remind everyone that Career Catalyst is part of the BioBuzz Talent Lab. So if you get on there, join the beta testing of that, you'll be able to access more free resources like this. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Amrita.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much, Annabelle, for the wonderful introduction. And I also want to thank BioBuzz for the amazing job they do in making sure that everyone has the information and the resources to, I guess, make career moves in DMV area. I also want to thank BioTrack for sponsoring this. Today, we are going to be talking about strategies to succeed in job market from application to interview. I want to begin by saying that sometimes when speakers are giving presentations, a lot of times it feels like, oh, they're already at a certain position and they probably have all figured out, everything is like figured out. But, as we talk about application to offer pipeline, I want to say I have been in job market many times. And as, recent as 2 years ago. So this is something that this is an important topic that is close to my heart. I was not only looking for a job, but I was helping others find a job. And I say to myself anytime that I'm doing that, yes, I will find a job. So we want to start with that mind frame, with that mindset that yes, I will find a job as we go through this presentation. So today we're going to talk about the pipeline, which is, you all are familiar with, nothing so new about that, job search, application, interview, and then the job offer. That's where we're trying to get to. When we talk about application, there are about 180 applications per hire. These are all statistics, and they vary across different kinds of jobs and different kinds of areas. And they also vary across, like whether it's the biology or engineering or technology, what kind of jobs these are. But in biotech, in comparison to last 2 years, there is a 137% rise in the applications. So there is definitely a situation that we're facing right now, which is similar to the 2008 recession period, maybe even worse, that there have been layoffs. There have been 10,000 employees that are laid off from HHS alone. And then there is also, there are a lot of people in the market who are looking for a job and they're really competent, and many are having lots of experience as well. Out of the interview, people reaching the interview stage, there are about 3% candidates that reach the interview stage, and there are 2 to 3 rounds of interview. And then finally, depending on what kind of position you are intending to go in, there are different industry would require different kinds of time frame. And of course, these are all estimates, so they can change. Government would be 2 to 5 months, and then academia would be 3 to 9 months. So what our focus in this presentation is to to share strategies which would help in each step. So we'll take all the 3 steps leading up to job offer one by one. And of course, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask them in the end. You can put them in the chat. So that's what we will do. We'll start with job search. It's a little slow. So when we talk about job search, and I know that there may be people who are from outside biotech, but we have in biotech itself, there are 25 national and regional job boards and websites in USA. So there are about 27,000 jobs listed, believe it or not. So, there is one for everyone is all I'm going to say, because, that important to believe that part, because you all need only one job if you're transitioning to a job. So where are these jobs? That's one of the most important thing that everyone sees, like, where are the jobs? So let's start with like a bird's eye view, and then we'll keep focusing and trying to get to what you are looking for. So we're looking at this time at top 10 biopharma clusters in US, and they are listed on the table and also shown here. More than top 10, actually 25 clusters are shown. And these top 25 clusters are not only, representative of biotech, but also let's look at what it translates to in terms of engineering or manufacturing clusters. So very similar kind of outlook. So if you are looking from another field and another standpoint, you probably are looking at certain hotspots where there are a lot of jobs. So we are number 3. Biohealth Capital Region is number 3, and there are about 100 and I think this number is a little bit higher now, 150,000 people employed, but we have to see with give or take with layoffs how that stands. Looking at the subsector analysis and kind of merging the manufacturing, biomanufacturing, medtech, and AI and talent, we are just going to focus at this time first on the greater Baltimore area and the Washington DC, and we can see that in talent we are number 3. We are also highly regarded in biomanufacturing. I think you might be familiar that drugs, small molecules, drugs, R&D, biomanufacturing, and talent, these are the strength of our area. However, if you have joined us from another part of the nation, then there is, of course, a lot to look forward to in different parts. So where are you focusing your job search efforts? I think that's an important question. And I'm going to request Annabelle at this point of time to launch this poll so you can answer that question.
Yeah. So you guys want to answer that poll. It's launched and should be on here. All right, awesome. We have some people answering. We're getting a lot of DMVs.
Okay. Just to get a good sense of where people are. Yeah, and you can just put in the chat if you cannot, for some reason, see the poll or you're on your phone. You can just put it on the on the chat. That's completely fine. Yeah, so we have a lot of people from DMV area. Then is that fair enough to assume?
Yeah, I think we have at least 16.
Okay, awesome. So if we are looking at DMV or East Coast, that's what is going to be a little bit of the focus of the talk as well. And not that it's complete focus; it's applicable to different areas and different, of course, different fields as well. So let's just look at the entire job site, national and regional listing. If we focus for a minute on the bottom left corner, you see biotech job sites. So there are biotech job websites such as Biospace and Higher Life Sciences. And then there are, you can filter with keywords that could be LinkedIn, Indeed, and ZipRecruiter. So these are some of the other ones. Some of you may be already familiar. Some of you are like seasoned people, seasoned professionals who are already familiar with this information. If you're looking for academic jobs, higher ed jobs is a must. Research Tweet is a newer one that we have been seeing come up, and now higher ed is kind of integrated with LinkedIn, so you do see those postings there. And of course, if you're looking for international jobs, Nature.com, and if you're looking for job-specific reviews, salary interviews, then Glassdoor. I typically tell people, if you're even looking for interview questions, just go to Glassdoor and type interview and the name of the company, and it shows up. So if you are looking for a specific area, one of the best things that you can do is subscribe to these websites. And I know that it kind of gets in a lot of junk mail, but at least some of this that is going to be useful. So maybe you can monitor to get it like at certain times of the week or frequencies of the week. But I would definitely recommend to look at this. And this information will be provided to you because we'll have the videos. So you can either take a screenshot, but we'll anyway have this information for you. In addition, I will try to put these slides in our empowerbio.org website so you can have access to these slides right away. If you're looking for specialized role, then there is project management jobs, regulatory affairs jobs, and clinical affairs jobs. So, you can look at PMI job board. There are consulting roles in different companies. Regulatory affairs jobs are posted as RAPS by RAPS, which is the Regulatory Affairs Professional Society, and FDA jobs are advertised in USA Jobs. And then there are clinical affairs jobs. So the reason we are sharing all this is because when you are doing job search, don't limit yourself to one search engine and one method. Diversify yourself and see what exactly other jobs entail, other roles entail. You probably are eligible for those. And I know that it feels like a lot of effort, especially if you're a PhD or a postdoc, you feel like, wow, I've come already a long way. But trust me, I was in those positions and I did explore a couple of options and I did find program management is a good option aligning with me, and this was an option that I could go do. So from my experience, this sounds time taking, but actually it would be worth exploring. Then application to offer timeline. I think some of you may be experiencing this, that it takes a long time, like 4 to 8 months to get a job offer. I'm actually going to share a story, a really interesting story of someone that was posted in Business Insider. And then if you are a proactive person, like who is networking, who is having referrals, who is experienced, or who is ready to relocate, then I think the amount of time that is spent between application to offer is somewhat reduced. So that's something that you should strive to go towards. I'm sure you're trying, and we have discussed some ways to do it. So job application package is going to be our next topic. Once we have idea of where all we can subscribe to, what kind of job search engines that we can subscribe to, that's when we want a job application package to be really robust. I do want to say one more thing is that when you go to some of those networking events in the local places, LinkedIn has only 50 to 60% of jobs. And when you go to one of the local networking events, you might find like a startup, or you might find like a smaller company that is looking, and they may actually be excited to talk to you and find you to be a best fit. And I've heard several stories of that. I don't think we have time to share that, but I can assure you that that's sometimes worth all the time that you spend in networking, because sometimes it feels like, well, I went for networking, nothing happened. But I definitely would say BioBuzz itself has wonderful networking events, and I would encourage you to explore their website. So as we move into job application, I think some of you are prepared in different ways as bachelors and masters. Some of you are prepared in another way. So what best describes your status? Have you been looking for a job for a while? That's what the category 1 is. Or will you be looking soon?
Yeah, that poll should be launched and live for you guys now.
I think some of you are facing visa challenges, and current situation is very, it's very fluid. It's hard to predict. And of course, there are people who are actually having a job, but they're looking for new opportunities or promotion.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of actively seeking positions or in between jobs.
Okay.
Employed, but seeking new opportunities. A couple will be looking for a job in the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay. So that sounds great. That gives me an idea. So I think this would be definitely something that I hope to fill in some more information. And if you're not seeing the poll, no worries. You can just put your answer in the chat.
All right, yeah, a lot of actively seeking for sure. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Okay. So So I think when we are talking about applications, then there is CV or resume, and then there is cover letter, referrals, and LinkedIn. So these are some of the things that are uh, that people are looking for. So the first thing is that what are the details that I want to share with you? I think you know a lot of information. You know, CV is for academia, resume is industry, and federal resume is for federal roles. So resume should be typically 1 to 2 page. I know it looks like 1 by 2, but it's 1 to 2 pages for bachelor's or master's, 2.5 page for PhD, and if you're really experienced, then 3 to 4 pages. Do you need a cover letter or not? This is a question that a lot of people ask all the time. Um, and yeah, I see some of those messages in the chat. We'll definitely address that. And yes, to explain your interest in the role, and if there is an opportunity, you should have a cover letter. And I think this is information that someone from AstraZeneca was providing in one of the interviews. So yes, a cover letter is a good idea if you can. Do you need a referral or not? Because sometimes that seems like a difficult exercise. Well, I did want to share some statistics with you that there are varying number of statistics, but there is a lot of encouraging statistics about referrals in the terms of like a referral can bypass ATS, a referral can get a lot more traction than just a plain applying, like generic applying. And then finally, LinkedIn, should you have a LinkedIn profile or not? So just for your information, recruiters can reach out actively to people who are on LinkedIn. And also, there is about like everyone is looking for shortlisted candidates and such on LinkedIn. So it is important to have a LinkedIn profile. So what we suggest, Empower Bio specializes in like developing that portfolio and looking for jobs. We have had, a good amount of success with our members. So just wanted to share that, you need to have a personal portfolio. And 1 second. Sorry about that. So you need to have a good portfolio, CV, resume, LinkedIn, and elevator pitch. And then you need to make sure that you are navigating the sector and job landscape for industry. That's what we were discussing in the beginning. Enhance job skills and expand professional network. That's really, really important. And career transition is you implement that job readiness and action plan. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And once you do everything, trust me when I tell you, it does build a stronger portfolio, CV, resume, and LinkedIn as well as pitch. We have done this with some of our members, but most importantly, I have done this for myself and figured out like this works really. This is something that's really, really important. So we will focus for a little bit on CV or resume, which is your academic credentials and professional experience. LinkedIn, which is a connection with the professional world, and pitch, how you communicate your work and goals in a concise and impactful manner. So the first thing is, I think we can talk about CV and resume, but due to time limitation, we're just going to focus on resume. You need to have a resume with a professional summary of 3 to 4 bullet points, skills that showcase or highlight whatever is needed for the job, and then match it with the job that you're applying for. Also, you need to make your resume ATS friendly, which is the applicant tracking system friendly. So preferable not to include tables, even if they're not visible. Make sure that there is no graphics or photos or, I mean, there can be some lines, but not too many. But try to make it as simple as possible and use the ATS job scanner. At least, you need to make sure that you use it when you make it for the first time, to make sure that it is ATS friendly. And I can, knowing a lot of people here, I know that many of you have gone through some of these steps. So, if you've already done this, then that's great. But if you are still working on it, then continue to customize your resume. Now, to highlight your skills, you might want to, make sure that they are in certain categories, which would be helpful for people to find them out like real quickly. I'll just give you an example. High pressure liquid chromatography and HPLC are the same thing. But if the job mentions HPLC and you have mentioned high pressure liquid chromatography, the ATS will not be able to parse that information. So you need to be mindful of how you are putting those skills, and so that you can get to that first level. Because 97%, if there are 95 to 97% is going to be removed, then you need to be very, very careful about that. Similarly, make sure that you are also focusing on transferable skills, because not everyone is, able to project that like in an appropriate manner. But time management, project management, leadership skills, communication skills, collaboration, teamwork, all of these are extremely important, and there are ways to amplify these. I would say that there is we did another session in spring on transferable skills. So that video is already up, and it's on our BioBuzz as well as Empower Bio site. So we won't spend a lot of time on this, but if this seems abbreviated, please go and take a look at that 45-minute video and 30-minute video, and you can definitely see more information there. So what does basically a resume would look like? Something like really simple, where you are mentioning your email, phone number, and LinkedIn, your entire hyperlink. You are going to mention your professional summary in a manner that would be highlighting for different points. In this case, one of the first one is more like scientific achievement. Second is more like lab management, and third is transferable skills. And definitely, you can highlight some of the skills and have more specifics in there, and then followed by the professional experience. If a human being is looking at your resume, they will have only about 3-4 seconds to look at your resume. So make sure that the first half just like really pops out. And that would be a vital deciding factor. The ATS and the person looking, you have to think from the mind of a recruiter and how they're going to be looking at this. So, if that has all the information, then at least you have the chance of getting shortlisted. So at this step, we are looking at how can we get shortlisted. So that's the focus. When you're responding to job ads, then make sure that you're aligning it. I think it's very tempting to also use AI to do that, which is there is nothing wrong in it. But is the AI projecting the right you in the right image, in the sense like, is it highlighting you in so that you feel like every word there is correct? So you need to make sure to customize it to make sure that it highlights all the things that you need to see in your resume. So if you scan your resume, make sure you reveal those skills, you change or edit out those words, and then list specific skills in separate sections so that they have their own headings. So once you have done your resume, it is also important to, that's actually correct. I see a comment, it takes a lot of time to use AI to get a good picture of your skill. That's correct. So you need to make sure that you're using your, your own, knowledge of your academic and research experience, and let AI also do some job, but kind of put it together. I think you should think of it like a research problem. Instead of thinking like, hey, I have so much experience, why am I not getting this? And I kind of think of it like, what am I missing? What is the missing piece in the puzzle? So that's something that actually helped me. Believe it or not, I also applied for a lot of places where I did not get in. And I applied for places where I almost got in, but then I had to, I saw that some of their packages were not good at all. So, there were all these, I have faced like every single situation, and I just want to encourage you to be a good advocate for yourself on your resume, a strong advocate for yourself. You need to, on LinkedIn as well, the same thing, you need to have build a strong professional portfolio and make your headline count. And I'm going to show you 2 of the LinkedIn profiles that I am sharing today with permission. A good summary goes a long way. Customize your LinkedIn profile. There is you can just Google fancy LinkedIn URL and you will find how to customize that. Complete your profile with all the sections and update it as you add to your CV or resume. So you need to keep it updated always. I mean, I'm at this time not looking, but I still keep everything updated just because it's a good practice. That's all. It's like a best practice thing. So action plan for LinkedIn, build your network and job search habits. So you must check your LinkedIn every day. So I typically check in when I'm sitting or watching TV at the end of the day, sometimes in the morning. but not not all the time. I guess you should engage in your activity feed, like, celebrate, and comment appropriately. So you can follow the 5-5 rule. I don't know if you know this, but there is a 5-5 rule, which is like connect with 5 different people, and like set yourself a goal, like comment or like or celebrate like 5 different people in a day or in a week, whatever works for you, and connect with 5 different people. So 5-by-5 rule for LinkedIn is like a good thing. You can make a 7-by-7 if you want. So you follow companies and connect with professionals that interest you, so that you can keep getting information in that area. For example, if I want to move from science to project management, I would connect with people who had similar background and move to project management, and how did they make that move. So post your activities and search jobs and create alerts based on those job searches. And here are some of the 2 of the profiles that I wanted to share with you. Please note that their header is not a reflection of the current job they're holding, but it's more reflective of their achievements, their past and future, sort of projecting into the future. So that's something you can find in these profiles. Also a nice about section, and then lots of connections. I know LinkedIn can be a lonely place in the beginning, but make sure that you keep connecting with people, and you will soon find yourself in a good network. So what is happening here is that when we are talking about application to offer pipeline, the generic mass application, which is what a lot of people are doing, it may require 150 plus application to reach 50% chance. And targeted applications where you have tailored resume, cover letters, where you're being selective, there's 50% chance by 70 or 100 applications. So you may not see the results in the first 5 applications or first 10 applications, but you will eventually see the results. Similarly, networking focused search, where you are leveraging referrals, there is a 50% chance of an offer by 40 to 60 applications. So hence, this is an estimate of about 50 to 100 applications in 3 to 8 months, depending on the approach. I don't know, I want to do a poll, like maybe you can just share, like, are you doing generic applications? Are you doing targeted applications? Feel free to share here. Or are you doing networking focused or referral focused sort of applications? So these are the 3 types. And at this time, I think a lot of people are doing targeted and looking at networking, but it's an important, of course, it's an important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just drop it in the chat.
So as we are kind of finishing, I just want to go quickly through some more important things. Candidates who took the time to apply through a company's own website indicate higher interest in the role, as opposed to just like LinkedIn apply, quick apply. Also, 20 to 35% of the hires come by employee referrals for companies with established referral programs. I myself referred someone like last week for UMGC. So, that kind of thing, you can always approach someone and, share with them, or have a little informational interview to know more and learn more. Okay. For PhD level or scientist role, the figure drops typically around 10 to 20%. If you are not getting any hits after even 75 applications or so, or 50 to 75, it's time to consult someone. It's time to ask someone, what am I doing? Because you may be missing something which others may be able to identify. So large pharma companies, they report a lot of hires by referral, and this is not an official AstraZeneca report, but there was a report that example in 2023 that AstraZeneca hired 5,000 people via referrals out of 25,000. Smaller biotechs also tend to hire a lot of people, through networks and introductions, and that's another thing to explore. Like spin-offs within the universities. And referrals and direct applicants tend to be a better match. So just if you don't know about applicant tracking system, there's just a quick layout that applicant tracking system is parses resume for keywords. And that's something that you need to be really, really mindful of. So make your resume ATS friendly, use relevant keywords, simple formatting, and clear sections, so that once you are ready, then that's the resume that can pass through the ATS. So as we go towards the ending, I wanted to share this interesting story that I read in Business Insider of Royal CEO who quit his job as a pharmacist, and then it took him 18 months and 688 applications to land a job that he was looking for. And I went and read through the entire post. And if you see here, how many was ghosted, how many were rejected. And he said the one offer that he got, signed offer that he got, was actually a referral, through a referral. So, you know, sometimes a mixture of approach will work best. So you can also upskill by doing another certificate, which might help you in getting an, you know, additional, pathways to other places. Now, about the interview, I just want to say that, you know, prepare for your interview, mock practice your interview. If not with another person, then you can do it yourself on the Zoom. However, if you want to practice an interview with me, a recruiter, you can just go to, like, you know, ask someone, or for, if you want to practice with me, I welcome you to just go to our, you know, our website and just look for an interview. We schedule something within 24 hours for you. Especially if you're looking for a job, you let me know, like, my interview is in 3 days. So we would definitely have something which is scheduled before. Yes, you can also practice with AI. That's correct, Shama. So subscribe to our newsletter that will share more information, and our interview prep series. We're going to be having like a new series launched, which would be focused on interviews. And, you know, that's our major focus, because once you get through the pipeline and get to that 3%, now it is important that you succeed. So we already talked about this approach, and, you know, I just wanted to say that, you know, we have talked about several elements of this particular approach. And I'm just saying, like, sometimes, you know, job search can be a tedious process. So establish a schedule, block work times and break times, implement a search tracker on Excel sheet, and prioritize networking in person, online, as well as develop a personal network to keep learning and upskilling. I have my own personal network. I request people too. I have my own mentors as well. So, you know, we all need mentors. We all need support. It's a tough job market. Let's help each other do that. And then we you know, conduct weekly reflection, if not weekly, monthly reflection, or talk to someone. And also, you know, see what's working and what's not. Yeah. So keep up a strong mindset and celebrate all your small wins and move forward. And if for any reason you're feeling disheartened, then, you know, all the more the reason to call. Not everything costs money. You know, you just need to reach out, and people are here to support you. You know, just make your customized, I'm just going to the last sentence here, make your customized job and resource folder with this approach and implement into action. You need your personal advisory board sort of thing, mentors. You need people who can help you get to that position where you feel that you have a strong personal brand. Whenever you go for an interview, I feel like a lot of people feel like this is going to be an experience where people are going to ask me a lot of questions. Well, you are going to be, it's a meeting where you are asking them questions as well, or you are also trying to find if it's a best fit. So, you know, your personal brand is the most important thing that you bring to an interview. Finally, I just want to summarize and provide you some resources. I want to say that there are a couple of networking events coming in the DMV area. I know that you know, there is a lot more to share, but, you know, these networking events are just some of them. We are going to be, you know, I'm just going to put them on Empower Bio website, as well as I'm sure that we are going to be sharing these. And BioBuzz has these resources. Women in Bio has, of course, these networking events where you can register. So subscribe to networking events through Women in Bio, BioBuzz. There is also ISP, PDA, and if you're from engineering side on another side, then make sure to look at some of those events as well. Oops. This is some of the job search sites that I listed. I thought it should be together in one place, so just putting it here. And some of our resources, there are about 2,000 people on Careers in Bio, undergrads to PhDs, which is a LinkedIn group, and we post their jobs like every single day. Also, there is 10-point guideline for resume, LinkedIn, and job search available on the website. Everything is free. You can just join and see if it works for you. Annabelle and did another. We did another one last few months ago, and that was leveraging transferable skills, and that video is available, so you can look at that. And with this, I think I can stop sharing.